Let your curiosity rise.
Mad Bricks webcast,
Where the human spirit flies. Mad Bricks webcast. Where the human spirit flies.
Hey, welcome to the MedBeaks webcast. This is Raman Anam-Raju. I'm the host. Well, Dr. Kasthuri, Narayanan Kasthuri is a MD, PhD. Unfortunately, there is a family emergency came in. He took an emergency flight back to East Coast. I'm sorry for that. It is a 2 days continuous, and there is a storm going on in the Northeast. It is a mess. So, but I want to continue let me introduce you the queen of the show, Dr. Susan Davis. Let me bring her to the table. I will tell her why I changed the time for the queen. The 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 6 o'clock for her is like almost going to bedtime for her. So let me bring her. Susan Davis, welcome.
Yeah, Romana, that is so funny. 6 p.m. is doable. It's not ungodly here on the East Coast.
Yeah,
so
it's almost bedtime for you. You eat a 4 o'clock dinner and at 6 o'clock, ready to go for bed.
Oh, bedtime, 5 minutes from now. Done.
Yeah. But anyway, unfortunately, there's an emergency came in. I was waiting for Narayan, Dr. Kasthuri. And he's from my area of his last name sounds very familiar to my background. But unfortunately, it's just things happen, so it's a family comes first. Family comes first.
It sure does. And what a brilliant, oh my gosh, I'm still excited. We'll get him back, and he's too precious to not share with our.
Yeah, he was apologizing,
wow.
But
I
definitely wanted to bring him back.
Oh my gosh, the work he's doing is truly probably some of the most monumental, literally mind-blowing work maybe on this planet. So stay.
Oh my God, compliment is such a compliment is for him and me and everybody is a big compliment. Bringing people like him. What he's doing is a global work, as a planetary work. Yeah. He is what he is doing is actually a little bit of I give some introduction about him, and sorry, unfortunately, cannot go in. But what he's doing is the neurons that in the brain is what he's saying in memory or anything else, the diseases and everything is interaction between the neurons, not as a structure itself. The interaction between these networks he has a special name for the connectomes. These connectomes that connected together, you have some problem with that. When there is some problem, there is Alzheimer's or dementia. But if there is a structured thing, it is really powerful. So
yeah, but Romana, you're skipping the whole first part. I mean, the fact before you can talk about the connectomics, you got to talk about how they're mapping the brain. I mean, the fact that they're even attempting to map the brain, which is more complex than all of our universes.
Correct.
Period. I mean, some of the things I read about it was like trying to figure out like the supercomputers and the photons and the physics and the science and all of our sciences together, like trying to find and map of I don't know whether dark matter or dark hole, black holes, whatever it is. So massive is the project and the equipment needed to even begin the mapping to get to the neuron spaces where we can then perhaps apply it to, medicine. But my goodness, the work surrounding the mapping is immense, infinite.
He works on the work at a national laboratory, energy laboratories called Argonne Labs. These are all federal government, huge. The computer is a super fast computer, super fast computer.
Theta? Did I get right there? Is it like a Theta supercomputer? Did I make that correct?
It's just unbelievable computer. The power is just so he's using that kind of a system. He's developing a lot of new things. He's going to be a star to watch, in my view. He's a star in the neuroscience is a star to watch. Um, but Susan, I started this podcast 2 years ago. I never thought that it would be anywhere closer to this level. I thought it's going to, nobody's going to care for it. And then I'm kind of a, was not, I'm skeptical, but I kept on doing it because my passion is there. And then when I did that, a lot of people are slowly coming back. Somebody said that why doctors are not going to listen to you. They are already, you don't have time to listen to. But eventually I proved them wrong, and then those doctors are listening and they're coming on the show. Very prominent physicians are coming on the show. Prominent scientists are coming on the show. So
Because
thanks.
we're all lifelong learners, Ramana, and you have something to say, you have something to teach us, and you have amazing friends and connections that also have so much to teach us. And so this is just a wonderful, safe platform to do that.
You added a very good medical aspect to it. You added a very great flavor to this show, because the medical background is official medical background is very important. So you brought that to the table. It enhances our presentations and everything. I listened to some of your very interesting. You have a lot of wisdom. You throw some sentences that powerful to me, and I build on that one on the top of it. Usually, whenever you say, the frequencies that you say that your mind is powerful than all the equipment, all those things are very powerful to me. From my physics background, it touches that intuitively.
Well,
The science.
my purpose of not only being your dear friend but being on this show is purely selfish. My learning is insatiable. It's insatiable, and my love for the brain, my love for quantum physics, my love for consciousness, my love for humans, and how it all works. Because there's an infinite amount of information out there, your connections and colleagues in your brains just fill my cup on a daily basis. If you don't think outside of your box, you'll never understand, the whole picture. So I appreciate that. Those are very kind words.
Yeah.
But why do we do what we do? We do it to serve. We do it to learn so we can serve more, so we
Yeah,
can
correct.
share more.
Yeah. So, it is thank you. But, it is more important is that we wanted to bring that to the table, the solutions to when there is a problem, and there's a broken problem is like healthcare system. It is sad to see a country like advanced country like this. Healthcare is a broken, fragmented, and no access. People don't understand it. People like you struggling to just go to the places and then really teaching them. We need a lot more people like you, a lot more things like yours to really propagate in this healthcare system. That is, a human intervention is so powerful in that sense that I'm going to show you a PowerPoint, a presentation for you that makes you more important than any time in the history of humanity. Let me Navya, can you bring my
Well, we're about to
presentation?
be treated, I can tell you that.
Yeah. Uh, so let me tell you about information is a mystery itself. So information is bothering physicists quite a bit. People think information is a fundamental, is a more divine. Information is the knowledge is divine. Then energy comes next. Energy is enforcer. The knowledge is a first, is instruction manual, and then energy is enforcer. So energy is not a fundamental in some sense. Information is more fundamental. Information tells where the energy should go, what energy should do, where it is going, what it's doing. So it has to listen to the information. So information is a very mysterious, and then it's also complex. But I'm going to show you.
Some information is divine, and then human interpretation of that information is where it gets a bit confusing. So
That is what I'm going to talk about it a little bit.
okay.
Yeah. So why we get, these are some of the common questions people have. Why we get old? Why don't we get younger? Other way around. What is stopping us in the going other way around? Physics does not stop going other way around. Most the physics has a time invariant. That means it doesn't know the past or future. It doesn't know the difference. The molecules, the cells, or the atoms don't know what is the tomorrow, what is yesterday. It doesn't know. But why we get older, that is a mystery itself. I'm going to tell you why that mystery is connected with some information. You're 30 years ago, you fell in love, you're kissing everybody, that's what you remember. But why don't you remember the future? She's going to eat you. No, it's not a violence. I'm not promoting violence here. It's a joke. But why don't you remember from future? There is no in from the physics point of view. There is nothing you can stop you to understand to remember the future, because the information is the key. I tell you why that surprises everybody. So, what is then? It is more important. What is the life and death? What is the difference between the life and death? Itself is information, you know. So, I'm going to tell you about that, a little bit about information. There is a entropy, is a center of all these things. Entropy is a key for this process. Now, can you play a video for that? You know, I'm going to show a video. What is this entropy connected with all these things? She's not there. I'm going to bring a video. I think where is it? Yeah. Oh, I don't know where is the video.
Hello, my name is Ramana Annamaraju. I'm going to introduce you to one of the most enigmatic and elusive concepts in the entire field of science from my book, Science is Not a Subject, Science Must Be a Lifestyle. The concept is called entropy. I'm focusing on one aspect of entropy related to information and its connection with the present day healthcare challenges. Entropy is like a ghost, but it is a mean one. You don't see it, you cannot talk to it, it never leaves you, it threatens your job, it tries to destroy your health, it affects your performance, it follows you wherever you go and whatever you do. You feel and see only its destruction. It is not your competitor you need to worry about this elusive ghost. It is your enemy number one. Please pay attention. It makes a difference in your career, in your job, and your duties. If you are a policymaker, you have to understand the impact of money and the economy of your citizens. If you are the CEO of a healthcare system, you have to be concerned about access and equity for all your members. And if you are a software engineer, you need to analyze simplicity versus complexity with your user experience design. As I mentioned before, entropy is your number one enemy. It is true what they say, know your enemy first, then you can come up with a strategy to deal with it. We need to start with the question how much you know and how much you don't know about a system you're working on. This is not some philosophical or a new age question. You have to quantify with the numbers. It is a scientific question to the core. The answer is not that easy. Fortunately, there was a guy smarter than all of us, gave a stunning insight. His name is Ludwig Boltzmann, an Austrian physicist, lived in the latter part of 1800s, came up with a statistical formula for known versus unknown. It is not just a formula, it is a law, second law of thermodynamics. In urban slang, we call it as a law of entropy. The law is not limited to known versus unknown, it is present everywhere, materials and processes and even life itself. Entropy is a true measure of your ignorance of a system. You may say, I don't know a lot of things, but I know what I know, and what I don't know, I don't know. This statement may seem right before you know about the law of entropy. The law of entropy says the unknown does not sit idle. It is constantly attacking your known systems. Entropy wants you to become ignorant and leaves you in constant confusion. It creates a chaos, your understanding of any system dwindling every day by law of entropy. Only way out is to fight it. Entropy is a tough concept to comprehend. I will do my best here with a simple example. You see a picture of a teacup with the 2 sugar cubes in the bottom, and the top teacup is mixed with the sugar. Adding 2 cubes of sugar makes you happier, but your happiness does not come for free. I know sugar prices are going up. Still worse, the law of entropy says your ignorance is also going up. You have known knowledge that there are 2 sugar cubes. Since you know something makes the bottom cup low entropy state. Now, when you mix the sugar, you turn the simple system into a complex system. Even if I ask you, you cannot get sugar cubes back. Sugar is melted away and you lost all the information about the sugar cubes. The irreversibility of the process increases the state of entropy. In a split second, you made the top cup in a higher entropy state. Known system became an unknown. Just it applies to a teacup. This irreversibility is evident everywhere and everything you do. A simple realization that if you create a process for your company with some data variables, the complexity slowly seeps in. It means you lost control of your process and the information becomes chaotic. But if you keep tabs on what it takes to reverse the process to the initial state, it saves you time, money, and energy. You are keeping the ghost of entropy at bay. Life itself is a low entropy system. Zoom in or zoom out, your cells to your entire body do hand-to-hand combat with the law of entropy to keep you healthy and alive. Your number one enemy is waiting at outskirts of your life and your company. Boltzmann revealed this book of knowledge and wisdom about the universe with his famous equation. He could not convince his peers about his theory. Later, Boltzmann committed suicide, and his famous formula was written on his tombstone. Devil also, like numbers. Chaos may be its nickname, but it is speaking the nature's language, that is mathematics. Cancer is cellular chaos. There is no diagnostic equipment can measure the exact progression, but with the entropy algorithms, you can extract patterns from seemingly chaotic information. One such algorithm came from an unrelated field, football. Yes, game of soccer. Soccer fanatics wanted to know who is going to win the World Cup that is being held every 4 years. The fans include a number of scientists. They created an algorithm called World Cup optimization algorithm. I don't know how much it is useful in predicting the World Cup winner, but it is helping to detect and predict the progression of cancer. They are testing with the cancer of melanoma and breast cancer. Boltzmann gave the formula for entropy, but a brilliant mathematician and engineer at the Bell Labs, which became AT&T now, gave a different twist to the concept of entropy. His name is Claude Elwood Shannon. The theory bears his name. It is called a Shannon entropy. According to Shannon, the information is central to all processes.
Which I think he's very widely known for, is this notion of a fundamental limit. No matter what you do, as long as you're working with a certain amount of bandwidth, and as long as you're dealing with signals that are only so strong in the face of noise that you confront, no matter what you do, you cannot transmit more than a certain rate.
Here is one remarkable example how you can employ Shannon entropy to healthcare equity and access. The world of medicine made a huge progress in diagnostics and treatments, but healthcare delivery systems are not. A significant number of people on the planet don't see those benefits. Health inequities you can witness in rural and urban America's landscape, and worse, everywhere else. Health delivery system is riddled with complexities. It may be partially political, but it is also filled with logistical complexities. Variants like remote geography, disease burden, and economic backgrounds, to name a few. Where there is a complexity, law of entropy shines. Shannon entropy is successfully utilized by countries like Iran, Turkey, and Greece to address the inequities in healthcare delivery by allocating and utilizing existing resources more efficiently. Truly a remarkable tribute to human mind, how an obscure 18th century physicist from Austria and 21st century brilliant mathematician from MIT can help humanity by discovering the hidden laws of nature. Thank you for listening. You can read in my book further. Science is not a subject, science must be a lifestyle.
Let me go back to the PowerPoint once. Yeah, that is a entropy. What do you think? Let me give you a little bit of entropy. You know, how the entropy is connected with the information, Susan, is very interesting. Can you read that left side without, there is a lot of spelling mistakes, but can you read it?
Yeah, it's crazy. What happened there? But yes,
Doctor has a
doctors admitted the patient. Why
Yeah.
is it so crazy?
So it is what it's saying that the entropy of the English language is lower than any other language. If it is a Telugu, my language, if you one word missing, one letter missing, you don't know what that is. Everything is messed up. But in English, you have abundance. The capital letters and the pronunciations, it has small letters, commas, all those things add that entropy, lowers the entropy. Information lowers the entropy. The number of questions you ask, I don't know anything about it. It is more questions you have, more entropy, higher the entropy is. So Shannon actually that's why the Twitter in English is much more popular than any other language, because you can write all spelling mistakes, still it can be correct. So so that is the capital letters. So English is the language entropy. The first paper he produced, Claude Shannon, first paper was from MIT, was about the language. He created a 1.2, 1.5 bits per letter. That's the entropy calculated for that entropy of a letter. So you can calculate for other languages, it is much higher in general. What is Shannon ought of a computer communication? What is Shannon entropy? Shannon entropy measures how uncertain or surprising information is in a message. The more unpredictable the message is, the higher its entropy. That's a more information per symbol. That's what he came up with, the Shannon entropy. He contributed very interesting. But there is something different. This is called a Maxwell Demon. What is a Maxwell Demon? Is a very thought experiment by James Maxwell, who gave the mathematical framework for all the light and everything, whatever the electromagnetic radiation you see. What he said is, if we have there is a demon there is a hot and cold mix of molecules there. I can separate hot on the left side and the right side, left side, maybe right side for you, but cold on the right side. Slow moving molecules go to the right side, cold. Whenever it's slowly moving molecules are cold. Fast moving molecules are hot. So they move all the fast moving molecules to the one side and cold molecules to the other side. So that's what it means. You got a free energy. You can cook on the left side and store it on the right side. Oh, yay. But there is a problem. So Demon did a great job separating the hot and cold molecules. But one thing you remember, Demon is not entropy it cannot escape entropy. Because Demon says that you have to remember where is hot molecule is, where is the cold. When it's opening the door for the hot molecule, it is doing a computation in the brain. That costs energy. That is a 2.9 times 10 to the power of 21 joules. That's the energy spending. Even the demon cannot escape spending energy, because even the information costs energy. So there is no escape from the entropy of information. So what is a biological agent versus real age? This is they want to find out the new biological marker. Is case DNA methylation. It's a methylation. DNA methylation is the epigenetic, like a bookmarks of the DNA. It's if you put a book, you put a bookmarks. The bookmarks are the ones where to read and what to do. That is the DNA instructions to DNA gives instructions of what to produce, what to execute. When it is messed up, that information, when DNA methylation is the information messed up, that's where the diseases come. Diseases will mess it up also, that one. So the ability to read epigenome instructions will cause the problem. That's what we got older. That is about some people still anger like a Susan, because their DNA methylation is in order. Is reading DNA is reading perfectly well. Is the That is a biological age is very different than real age. So aging numbers. So normal cells become a balanced information is the normal cells. Senescent cells or dead cells, they become a information chaos. That way the information goes crazy. So there is no information, orderly information there. Entropy wins. That's why we get older. Entropy is slowly destroying the information of the cells. Then when that's the reason we get older. That is the key. That is
For now.
always you can reverse back with a little bit of other things, plastic surgery and other things, but you cannot escape for a long time.
For
So-
now.
So for zombie cells, these cells, the problem with the senescent cells, these are zombie cells. They don't sit down idle. They send messages, corrupt messages to the neighboring cells, and becomes that is a kind of a becomes a cancer or tumors. That's a problem. So what somebody was telling, David Sinclair from Harvard is saying, you can reverse this process. You can recellular programming. You can do that. You can give the epigenome instructions. You can reprogram it through medicines. Some kind of a vitamin E is saying surplus, some kind of a medicines he says, NDNA or something like that he says. But I'm not sure. It is still, but he's a very solid scientist, well-received scientist, David Sinclair from Harvard. But it's a still very debatable how it works. It's a very powerful theory came up with it. So it's still in research in long way. So entropy you can do as a therapy actually. Entropy engine you can use a therapy. If you go to sauna, that heat therapy, you go to sauna, sit down and get the heated up. That's a entropy engine working. You're taking out, you're creating order in the body and throwing out the heat outside. That's all the disorder you're throwing outside. The sauna is really helpful in that sense. And also you watch while I prefer going by train than even by plane. The reason is you watch outside in the train, your brain is a computational, you're busy. When a computations are done in the brain, it becomes order. When order comes, your mental peace, mental health improves. So you're lowering the entropy by watching a lot of scenes. See ocean, like Susan has next to the ocean. You can watch mountains moving, anything that is moving, anything that you're moving or they're static or moving. You're really when you're moving, it is really powerful way of controlling the health. But let me tell you, my discovery, human care capacity of a entropy, how the human care capacity is the thermodynamic limit of entropy is the framework for my discovery, human care capacity. Healthcare systems must follow this for me. Actually, I hope they buy from me. Human care capacity is a thermodynamic limit of the healthcare systems. It tells you when entropy exceeds it, no policy, payment models, or AI can prevent breakdown. Nothing can save you. When entropy increases, when the human care capacity fails, your entropy increase, it should be less than human care capacity, then healing is produced. When entropy is greater than human care capacity, breakdown, we can do mathematically prove it. It's not some abstract idea. It is a completely mathematical structure. So healthcare systems, please call me. So what is that? Why, this AI talk, there is something they are not telling you. So what is why Susan is so right sometimes about these kind of things? I learn from here. So humans intervention is AI is not is producing more entropy, disorder. I tell you why. That's why you got to be very careful how you how you implement the AI. Just not random way. Oh, somebody said that, some salesman said that introduce AI is a problematic. What is AI? AI produces information, not a care. It doesn't produce care. It produces information. That's all it does. So it is adding, it's not adding a one iota of care. Remember that. So two, more signals. AI produces a lot of information, more signals, the alerts, notes, all of them it produces, and create a less uncertainty. That is AI itself tells you that I'm a problem. AI sit outside of the clinical flow. AI is not part of the clinical flow. It is sitting outside of the clinical flow, AI agents. So you got to be really careful about how you do that. So AI sit outside the clinical flow, it can cause problem. What is AI? Shifts entropy onto humans. It adding a pressure, disorder to the humans. A liability, it pushes the liability to the humans. That is the AI's problem. So Medbix predictor, forecasting healthcare failure by measuring human care capacity and entropy. That is a very important. I gave the formula for a. I'm keeping it secret, but only Susan knows about it. But this formula and the mathematics behind it is a powerful one. It can predict healthcare system breakdown anytime. What is not going to produce, when is going to fail. It's already broken systems are everywhere. Everybody is unhappy. So please call me United Healthcare, Amar Desai. Yeah, he is a CEO of Optima. So it can tell you, the simple mechanism can tell you CEOs when things go bad, when things go out of control, when the healing capacity went down. That you are first and foremost, non-negotiating principle is providing a care capacity should exceed then human care capacity should exceed then healing, that produces healing. So that the day it does the healing capacity increases. Human care capacity, you increase it, the healing is increased. That is a fundamental principle, is connected to the entropy framework. So it's a very lot of mathematics inside. And thank you for watching. So I hope we all learn about this. But entropy, as of one of the best, entropy creates a life, also is a death. In Indian Hindu god, Lord Shiva, what every Hindu knows about this, that at the end of the universe, he does a cosmic dance and he destroys the universe and he begins again, cyclical universe. So entropy says that the universe will end one day. It will finish. The universe is gone. As you know, there are no more stars, no more planets, no more life. It's all gone, from just dies at the end. Even a thought, the last days of the universe, humans live on a black hole, near the black hole. If they get up only once a year, and then they can talk about once a year and produce other humans, because any thought can produce a heat can generate the entropy increases and the die. So it's kind of a fun thing to talk about, but it's a long way, billions of years away. We are gone. But entropy, what is a life and death? I didn't tell you a little bit about life and death part of it. Life is like, I'm talking about life is, I didn't mention that.
Well, you may as well go back to life, because if you're going to end with everything and everyone dies, the universe dies, everything dies is not the best ending in the world. Let's go back to the life ending, perhaps.
But what is life? Life is, actually information never dies. Information is transformed when people die, is transformed into the different process. What is living is, information is a structured low entropy, when the death is a high entropy. Information is living. So we are blessed with a structure. Universe given us a moment of cosmic time given us to flourish. This body, this structure, this molecules, and all of them are a collection of, we are a collection of atoms and electrons and protons and molecules. It gives you that pleasure of living this life. We have to live for good, do good, as always Susan says. So that is what the life is all about. So I keep doing the same thing, and then we all do. She saves lives, and I keep talking about life, what we can do, good things. Thank you for watching. Let me take it out and bring,
Woo, woo, woo.
yeah. So,
Another amazing presentation.
yeah, I miss Dr. Kasturi. I hope one day I will bring him back, and Dr. Kasturi, please come back whenever you have a time.
He will. I'm sure he will. He's doing such amazing things, and he's got so much to teach us all. I'm certain.
Yeah, yeah, that is so much to teach us. One thing, a lot of questions I have. One of the questions I'm going to ask him is the consciousness, about consciousness. What is it emergent property of the brain, or consciousness is there and we are like our brain is like a radio? Which one is he subscribes that is?
Well, and a similar question that I had, something that you present quite often when you're trying to teach really the basics of physics, when you talk about the ghost, the like the mouse, the ghost mouse.
Yeah.
But if you think about the work that he's been doing for so many years now with this intense brain mapping, and literally a sliver at a time with the highest, fastest microscopes in the world and computers and all these other things. But where does the ghost fit into those images, right? So once you have mapped it all and they have it anatomically and physiologically down to the atoms, right? Now,
Absolutely.
what happens when we throw in like your presentation from last night? What happens when we throw the ghost in the machine? The quantum ghosts.
Excellent point.
How
Where
does that work?
that ghost works there in that brain? That is a powerful. I don't know where the entropy, what kind of entropy is a disorder of information, right? So structure is failed. Dementia or Alzheimer's probably structural problem, and communication problem is failed. That's where the information is lost. We cannot interpret information. That is a kind of a entropy loss. So I think we understand more and more physics. We can control a lot of things eventually. That's what he's trying to do. He says that if you catch that interactions, that if you can repair that interactions, so you can prevent interaction the going bad, so we can be healthy.
Yeah, but he also said, just for context, and you and I talk about the brain all the time, the number of neurons is like 100 billion. I don't even know what is that. It's got a name. It's like 100 billion connections. And so
100 billion neurons, 1 trillion connections.
Yes,
1 trillion connections.
Yeah. So literally, and he said it was very similar. And I know I said this at the beginning of the show of like trying to map all the parts of the universe. And he said, in fact, he believes it's more complex than trying to map everything in the universe, trying to map the human brain.
Yeah, correct.
And then he brings in the science of the history of the human brain, the history of all of animal species brains, and then comparing them, human to animal, and then comparing them over time through evolution as well. There's the complexity of what they're doing is unfathomable. So very exciting. I know he'll come back. He's got to.
Yeah, yes. The next week guest is our favorite guest, Dr. Suresh Mukherjee is coming.
Oh, yay!
Then there is a Dr. Norvej is coming after that, Thursday, 3 p.m. same time. Dr. Norvej is we know about Dr. Mukherjee. He is a radiation oncologist, and he is a radiologist and radiation oncologist.
Specialist. Maybe everybody else doesn't know about him. He's a specialist.
He's a brilliant speaker, and he explains
head and neck radiology, oncology specialist. Speaks all over the world. Magnificent.
He explains very well. One of the things is I love about him is
amazing teacher and mentor, by the way, especially in this AI world. A lot of young students wanting to get into radiology and thinking, oh, why would I bother? AI is taking over radiology. He says, no way. There's so many specialty areas where being a human in radiology, especially what he mentors, is still very much on the plate. And they do quite well financially, if I might say so.
Yeah. Dr. Norwich he was a Rhodes Scholar. His son is also a Rhodes Scholar. I tell you, his son is also coming up. His son is also a very famous doctor, MD, PhD. He's going to be soon coming on our show. I'm trying to bring him also. Dr. Norwich he's from South African born, and I interviewed a lot of South Africans. I have Arlene, one of the Myers. She came from a cancer advocacy group from South Africa, Mrs. Myers. Then I interviewed Nick. He owns a cancer equipment detection, PET-CT kind of related X-ray beams and treatment things, that electron beam therapy and all those things. So I interviewed a few South Africans. They're very brilliant. Their universities are excellent. So Dr. Norwich is from there. And then he went to Yale, he went to Harvard, and then he has a lot of degrees. And then he is teaching now entrepreneurship in a college, Babylon College, I think, in Boston. And he's going to join with us next Thursday at 3 p.m. this time. So
Fantastic.
we have a great guest coming up. Sorry, we have two guests missing this month. It is unpredictable, these talk shows, but sometimes we have that's
okay. We roll with it. We roll with it, Romana.
Yeah. So anyway, so what is your plans for this week or next weekend? What do you do next week?
Oh my gosh, me? Oh, the list is long. I actually have I think the next thing on my plate, besides my next, I've got 2 or 3 healthcare systems that I'm working to move into in the first and second quarter of the year. So that's very exciting. To do some training, of course, reaction ready. But more exciting, and I'm going to announce it next week on our show, is I did accept the nomination of Woman of Impact from the American Heart Association. So that's a big deal. So I'll
be Woman of Impact. They don't have to give me a award. I can acknowledge that myself. Thank
you. So, thank you. I'm really excited because this is really specifically to really spread the awareness for research for women's cardiovascular health, cardiac arrest, heart attack, stroke, prevention, treatment, post, you name it. But it'll be fundraising. It'll be 9 weeks. So you'll all get very sick of me. So you may as well just go ahead and donate so that I can leave you alone.
Yeah.
But we'll be raising money and it'll be really cool. It's going to be 9 weeks. And actually, we'll raise money here for Florida for specific projects here in Florida, as well as the National Go Red. But I have some pet projects that if anyone wants to help us, like Romana, like you and I have been talking about, like getting AEDs donated. So if someone in our show or one of our listeners would like to participate, but they'd like to be specific about where their money goes, not a problem. I've got a bunch of cool spots where we can end up perhaps using their money in dollars to get all of our schools with AEDs, get our community, blah, 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 blah. So there'll be lots more on that next week.
Yeah, great job and great service. So impact woman, your most impact, you're already making a big impact, so that's an easy part for you. So let us hope we can raise some money and give me something, and I will send it to I can post on my network, and there is a lot of Florida people there. So they also can support us. And
it's national too. It's national. And I don't want to be competitive or anything, but I'm planning on winning. So
yes. It's not planning. You have to win. You're in the ring. There is no stopping.
No. So I'd like to win the Florida, but I also would like to win it nationally. So I'm really going to be probably to the point of annoying, but we have got to do this. We're going to win. And also, I look forward to learning more and sharing more over the next however length of time with your amazing new formula, because I think it's going to be earth changing. Your new formula that you've come up with in your brilliant mind is going to be something we'll be talking about for lifetimes. Very brilliant.
I think that is going to be, I hope the healthcare systems understand it a little bit, they're not an old-fashioned way, but new understanding, new way of understanding their systems. Then system engineering is very important. That's, I hope that my formula, I can sell that formula to them, and then we'll do the analytics. Is a dashboard that comes, is beautiful. It's really, I'm not doing the UX experience and all those things, you know.
Yeah, well, that's going to be fun, and we're going to get to treat them to little bits and pieces to teach them about it. So
Thank
anyway,
thank you so much for joining in our about to go to bed now. You're
yeah,
in my dinner time. Yeah, I'm a long way from dinner time. I'm my coffee time, actually tea time. So
okay. Well, till I see you again, thank you so very much.
good night. Talk with you later, Susan.
Night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
We are retelling their stories through our patented designs that can be worn on scrubs, t-shirts, printed on conference bags, and endless other promotional materials. Daily Wear for Medicine is the first ever of its kind to create curiosity in medicine through visual art. We at MedBricks are celebrating unsung heroes of the past who made enormous contributions to the field of medicine through our unique campaign called Daily Wear for Medicine. You can wear it, carry it, and give it